Greville, isn't it a little late to send flowers?
I think you'll have to use them, Miss Emma. They'd be very hurt if you didn't.
Roses. The roses were always so much nicer then.
Never mind the roses, Emma. The guests will be arriving shortly.
These have only just arrived, sir.
I remember the house was always full of perfect roses.
Oh, please, come on, Emma.
Everything seemed more perfect in those days, didn't it, dear?
It should be perfect now. It's damn well cost me enough to make it that way.
It was your idea, Arthur.
That's right. And now that I've gone to all this expense, we're going to go along with it. And don't make any faux pas, Emma.
No, Arthur. I'll try not to.
Remember the date and remember the year.
Yes, dear. Such a lovely day and such an exciting year.
June the 21st, 1930.
Yes, dear.
Good. Greville, did you manage to get...
Yes, sir.
I should imagine that Wall Street and the Stock Exchange would say it was a little too damn exciting. Stock Exchange, damn.
What is it, Arthur?
I didn't get yesterday's closing prices on the Tokyo market.
Oh, dear. I don't care what he says, I can actually hear that thing.
Ultrasonics, Miss Emma.
I don't care what they call it, Greville. I can hear it.
Good evening, sir.
Evening, Miss Shaw. You all right?
Yes, sir.
That's good. What did Tokyo close at?
2.5 up, my lord, as you predicted.
Good. Hong Kong?
Quoted a 0.6% rise on Marine International and 0.4 on Marine Engineering.
Splendid. You spoke to Fairfax in Washington?
Yes, sir. He managed to knock Lauderdale Arms and Chemicals down to $8 million US.
I won't go to a cent more.
I told him that, sir.
Good. And what do you think of the outfit, eh?
Exactly right, sir.
Damn well should be. Taylor charged me 400 quid to make it. Not a single trace of polyester or synthetic fibre in the whole suit. Got him to guarantee that.
Authentic
Through and through. Yes, well, if it's worth doing at all, it's worth doing thoroughly.
Indeed, yes.
Oh, by the way, you're not to come out of this door under any circumstances. You understand, Miss Shaw? Under any circumstances whatsoever. It will spoil the whole effect. I mean, your clothes and your...
I understand,
Good.
sir.
If you want to go out, you'll have to use this door. I don't want anyone to see you.
I intended to work through the weekend anyway, sir.
You're a very good girl. And you, don't have to go through the house for your bedroom in the annex?
No, sir.
All right, then. See you Monday.
I hope you have a super party, sir.
Well, it'll be different anyway. Have to mark our 50th year of operation, don't we? Seems as good a way as any. 21st of June. Summer solstice. I remember noting it then. Ah, the cocktails. Good man, Greville. Splendid chap.
Yes, Arthur? You look very handsome. Oh, the first guests.
Yes. Now it all begins.
How silly of me. I feel quite nervous.
Yes, how silly of you, Emma.
Well, you can get back here if you wanted to, you silly old devil.
All irregularities will be handled by the forces controlling each dimension. Transuranic heavy elements may not be used where there is life. Medium atomic weights are available. Gold, lead, copper, jet, diamond, radium, sapphire, silver, and steel. Sapphire and steel have been assigned.
Good evening, Mr. Harborough.
Good evening, Greville.
Good evening, Mrs. McDee.
Good evening, Greville.
Good evening, Mrs. Harborough.
Evening, Greville.
Good evening, sir.
I like your monkey suit, Greville.
1930, sir. Absolutely authentic.
I bet the theatrical costumiers must be having a field day, eh?
All specially made, sir, by Lord Malreen's personal tailor.
Must have cost a fortune.
Does that imply that the shareholders will have reduced dividends this year?
God, I hope not.
The bags are in the car, Greville.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, sir.
How many guests have been invited?
Well, I've no idea, sir. Miss Emma saw to the invitations, bless her.
Oh, Lord, that spells trouble. Batty old flapper should probably have half the county down here.
While the other half tries to get away.
Keep your opinions to yourself, Annabel. If Malreen wants to indulge his fantasies, let him. Go along with it, will you?
Of course, darling. I think it's fun. Honestly.
Mrs. Felicity McDee, my lord, and Mr. Howard McDee, Mr. and Mrs. Felix Harper.
Oh, how beautiful, how lovely you all look. Hello, Felicity. How well you look. I do so wish George could have been here. He would have enjoyed it, wouldn't he?
George would have hated it, Emma. He always left ostentatious nonsense to you and your brother.
Yes. Yes, I suppose so. Annabelle, that dress is quite stunning.
Arthur, you've been to a tremendous amount of trouble.
Yes, I have, haven't I?
It's dead right, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Every detail.
Every detail.
Except for
Except
the black mourning crepe over my grandfather's portrait. Surely on June the 21st, 1930, he was very much alive, wasn't he, Grandmama?
Howard.
Yes, dear.
No. Malreen and McDee, the two whiz kids of the Depression. Both hell-bent on making a second fortune for the Malreen family.
Yes, all right, Howard.
Sorry.
Greville, whiskey and soda for the menfolk, will you please? And the ladies can have champagne or any of those damn newfangled cocktail things.
Splendid.
What do you have in mind, Annabelle?
I shall have a green goddess. I believe they were the in thing in 1930.
Greville, a green goddess for Mademoiselle, please, if you will.
Don't be silly, Ducky. You weren't even around then.
I've been doing my
I
research.
don't believe it. Does this thing work?
Everything works.
Well, I was following the test match. Wanted to see how Boycott was getting on.
Be my guest. Go on, switch it on. Well, I have to warm up, you know.
That's good. That's very good.
Oh, here we are, back to the first test. The weather is still glorious here at Trent Bridge as Bradman takes his stance for this fourth ball of the over.
Bradman?
Larwood starts his long run. Ames well back, crouches behind the wicket. Larwood bowls fast to good length, and Bradman flicks it sweetly to the off, a most cultured stroke. But Wally Hammond is there, and there's no run. What a
Bradman,
magnificent
Larwood, Ames,
field.
Wally Hammond. This is extraordinary.
Australia still 123 for one wicket as Hammond returns the ball to Larwood.
Trent Bridge, first test of the
Jolly
1930 season,
as
England
Larwood
against
turns to
Australia.
begin his run. Incidentally, speaking of Hammond's fielding, there's a story about it, which is, if not true, at least Ben Travato. It was, seems, about a year ago when Larwood was bowling, and it was indeed Bradman batting, just as it is today. And Hammond was in the slips. Larwood bowled, Bradman made a stroke, there was a snick, and Hammond dived full length and threw the ball up in triumph. Only, unfortunately, it wasn't a ball. It was a swallow, which Hammond had caught as it...
All done by mirrors. Or tape recorders.
Well, that's clever. I wish to God there was a bookie handy. I know who won that game.
You can't possibly, it hasn't ended yet.
Now, let me see. It was... Well, I know every test score going back to 1918. England-Australia, first test. It's funny. My memory is normally rather good. How strange. I can't remember.
Annabelle, are you all right?
Yes, I think so. I just felt as if someone had...
Walked over your grave?
Yes.
This house has that effect on a lot of people. George used to loathe it.
On the contrary, as Emma will tell you, my late lamented partner did not loathe this house, Felicity. As a matter of fact, he did some of his most creative work here. And my sister always made him feel most welcome.
Arthur, please.
He said it was an evil house.
Oh, no, Felicity. Surely not.
Nothing ever changes, George.
Well, into 1927.
Well, of course.
It's a fallacy to assume that champagne matures with age. Now, that bottle...
He's only 3 years old, and 1927 was a very good year.
Yes, it was. We had some only last week,
We've
and it was
never
simply
had
divine.
bombs at 27.
Haven't we?
I seem to remember.
What?
May I, sir?
Well, I thought everyone, but everyone, drank Bollinger 27. I say, have you noticed it's getting quite dark outside?
Impossible. It's not 7 yet.
And the weather's glorious at Trent Bridge.
Is?
You heard the wireless.
No. No, that's impossible.
What's the matter?
That green door.
What about it?
Well, I could swear it seemed to disappear.
Oh, come on, Grandmama. You've only just started your first glass of champagne.
I tell you, it disappeared.
Nonsense.
Only for a second or two.
Doors don't disappear, Felicity.
This one did.
That's the door to my office, Felicity.
I know, Arthur. But it wasn't there in 1930, was it?
Damn! I forgot about that.
Well, I wouldn't have known anyway. I wasn't born then.
You built that office in 1938, Arthur. I remember thinking how out of place that door looked in this room.
Yes, all right, Emma.
That's probably young Tony Purnell and his pretty little girlfriend.
Probably.
Oh, dear, can't remember her name.
You didn't invite anyone else, did you?
I don't know, Arthur. I thought you made out the list of invitations.
Should I, sir? No. You better go and receive them.
Oh, very well.
Greville, you will serve some drinks, will you, please?
Hello?
Good evening.
Who is it?
Miles and Virginia Cavendish.
Who?
This is Lord Mulreen's party. We were invited.
Well, it should be all right then.
I hope we're not too late.
The invitation was most specific.
Allow me, sir.
Oh, Greville, thank you.
This way, sir.
Don't be too long.
The Honourable Miles and Mrs. Cavendish.
Yes. Miles and Virginia. I didn't send that card.
Cavendish. Oh, yes, he must be that chap who deals in futures.
Would he mean all our futures?
Anybody mind if we have some music?
You're going to get that blasted test match again. It's a tape, remember?
Oh, how nice. Jack Payne and his orchestra.
What's that?
Dance music, darling.
I thought everyone had heard of Jack Payne. He's all the rage at the moment.
Good heavens.
What's the matter?
What's happened to the tape?
What tape, Felix?
The whole place seems very odd to me. Which side of the bed would you prefer?
There's no other way?
Not now, no.
Miles Cavendish. Who chose that?
You did.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
The host must have started this as a game.
Well, now it's become reality. You know, I think I'd rather be nearer the door. It's funny, since I arrived, I haven't seen or touched anything that was made later than 1930. Nothing.
What about the materials?
No synthetic fibers, no plastics, no nylon.
It's as though we stepped back 50 years when we walked through the front door. I wonder if the people downstairs realize that.
How long will it take you to get ready?
I say it really is getting awfully dark in here.
Longest day of an English summer. What do you expect?
I do hope it's not going to rain.
Let's have some lights on, shall we? Draw the curtains, shut it all out. Never had summers like this in the 30s.
I was looking forward to a lovely sunny weekend. Tea on the lawn tomorrow. with strawberries.
Well, it started out all right.
No, I never noticed that.
What?
You can see the church tower from here. It's almost as though there were a path through the trees to it.
I'm afraid you're mistaken, Howard.
Oh, why?
Must be a trick of the light. The church tower was V2'd, or was it doodle bombed, one or the other, in 1944 or 1945.
You sure of it?
Positive. Terribly sad.
Well, it did look like a church tower.
And it would have been there in 1930, wouldn't it?
Listen, this is just a game. It isn't for real. This is 19
what, Annabelle?
1930. June the 21st, 1930.
Oh, come on, Arthur.
King George V is on the throne, Ramsay MacDonald's Prime Minister. And 8 months ago, on October the 24th, 1929, the American stock market collapsed. And we are in the midst of a depression. But McDee and I, we formed Mullerine International right here in this house. We built it with our own hands and we believed in it. And it was a massive achievement.
Quite right.
Yes. Therefore, you can see that church tower from that window. You can't possibly know who won that test match at Trent Bridge. The champagne we've been drinking is definitely 1927 vintage and only 3 years old. And what's more, that damn green door shouldn't be there.
It's a paradox, Arthur.
What do you mean?
You can't make it 1930. You can only pretend. Logically, if it was 1930, only you and Emma and Mrs. McDee could be in this room. The rest of us wouldn't have been born yet. You're an amazing man, Arthur. Powerful, rich beyond most people's dreams, and very, very clever. A bit of genius. But even you can't turn back the clock.
If you could, Arthur, would you bring George back to life?
My God, there's still a draft in here, even with the curtains drawn.
Would you?
Yes.
That's interesting.
What's interesting about it?
I was wondering.
Wondering what?
I was wondering why the black morning crepe has gone. Someone's playing some clownish trick.
They couldn't have done, Felix. We haven't left the room. We couldn't have missed seeing someone reach up for that crepe.
You're right about that chill, Annabelle. It seems to cut right through the center of this room.
Why did you choose this house?
It's definitely here,
Yes.
but where? Maybe it's taken over someone downstairs. We have to find out which one.
That won't be easy. It could be any one of them.
Or all of them.
No. That wouldn't make sense.
No, of course it wouldn't. There has to be a victim.
Or victims.
Anything you say, Virginia. Shall we go down?
Haven't you forgotten something, Miles?
Yes. Very frustrating for you, Felix. Must be. Old dodder like me refusing to retire.
You'll have to sooner or later. I can wait.
The only way you'll ever become chairman of Mullerine International is by burying me.
Don't tempt me, Arthur.
Oh, yes, I used to love going to the flower show. Do you know Queen Mary's opening it this year? But I never get to London these days.
Queen Mary.
Formidable lady, but so regal.
Yes, all right, Grandmama. We'll have to make some excuse and leave first thing in the morning. Felix and Annabelle will have to get a lift with somebody else. Perhaps the other couple could help her.
Wow.
Oh, well, sir. Good evening, Greville.
52 years old. A totally repressed personality.
I hope the room is to your liking, sir.
It's absolutely marvelous, thank you, Greville.
He's devoted to the Mulreines.
Devoted to the family or to the house?
To Lord Mulreine. He's very fond of the old man. Thank you, Greville.
This way, madam. Sir?
The Honourable Miles and Mrs. Cavendish.
Oh, there you are, you lovely people. We were beginning to think you'd quite deserted us.
We were just changing.
My dear, what a delightful dress. So elegant. I wish I was still young enough to wear fashionable things like that.
You mean they're back in fashion?
But when you're 60, it's too late.
She's 74. Thank you, Miss Mulreine. A lonely old woman carrying a torch for a lost love.
For how long?
For 50 years.
Mr. Cavendish, you look grand.
How nice of you to say so. You're very kind.
Greville, our two new guests have no drinks.
I'm sorry, Miss Emma, but I'm afraid I don't drink.
Oh, What a good idea. So sensible. Come and meet everybody. This is Mrs. McDee.
How do you do?
And Howard
How do you
McDee.
do?
How do you do?
Delighted.
Champagne's awfully good.
And this is... Oh, dear. Poor Annabelle isn't well. I do hope she hasn't caught a chill.
Is there anything I can do?
I don't really know. Shall we go and see? Annabelle, are you still feeling cold?
Yes, don't you feel it?
No, I don't believe I do. This is Virginia Cavendish and Annabelle Harborough.
How do you do?
Has she a temperature loss?
Yes,
Then she could be affected by time.
it's possible.
How do you do? You haven't been here before.
I'm sorry?
Here, to this house?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Oh, good heavens, yes. My husband's Arthur Mulreen's deputy. They're in the library at the moment, talking business.
Perhaps Greville could bring you something to warm you.
Oh, no, thank you. I think it's passing.
Good.
Something wrong?
Ah, Howard,
No, not really.
you're here.
Annabelle was just complaining of the cold.
On Midsummer's Day? Oh, my dear.
Steele,
Yes?
they're rather more than friends.
Howard's very attentive, isn't he?
He's always been a considerate boy.
I wonder if Felix has noticed how considerate he is.
Felix wouldn't notice anything unless it was connected with business.
Let's not argue about it, Felix. We'll leave the whole thing to Fairfax in Washington.
Look at him now.
If that's what you want, Arthur.
I won't discuss it any more this weekend.
I never thought I'd live to see the day when you let sentiment interfere with business.
Will you have now?
Do you by any chance losing your grip?
That'll be the day, if you ever live to see it. You know what your trouble is, Felix?
Tell me.
You don't enjoy business enough, and that's what keeps me young. That's what'll keep me going when men like you have packed it in and turned your toes up. Have a cigar. Ah,
Lord Mulreen, how nice of you to invite us.
Grosvenor.
Cavendish.
Oh, yes, of course.
Miles Cavendish.
Glad you could come.
I'm Felix Harborough.
Deputy Chairman of Mulreen International.
Full marks. I believe you're in the futures market.
In a way, I'm a futurologist.
Sounds like a fortune teller.
Fortunes. Yes, I like that. Fortunes.
Well, my predictions are rather more scientific than that. They're based on logical projections using the advanced physical sciences.
As it were, speculative cybernetics.
Hey, break it up, you two. You're here to enjoy yourselves, not talk shop.
You told me just now you enjoyed... You old ruffian, what are you trying to hide?
Me hide?
You're up to something, I know the signs. Are you planning to use you to make a killing?
Felix, if I were you, I'd keep an eye on your wife. Young McDee takes after his grandfather, you know, in more ways than one.
I think I'd better go and talk to my husband, if you'll excuse me. Really, dear.
My dear Virginia, you haven't got a drink?
Well, that's perfectly
No. Leave it to me.
There is a time break, and someone in this house is causing it.
What about this room?
It's the same as the bedroom,
Nothing later than 1930?
except that door.
And that's?
Out of place, would you say?
It is rather, thank you.
Champagne?
No, thank you.
Chin chin.
What's he talking about?
Say chin chin.
What?
He can't drink until you say chin chin.
Chin chin.
See?
It has no lock and no handle.
What's the point of a door if you can't open it?
Aha, exactly. You've got it.
Have I?
There's an aura, a barrier.
Barrier?
Yes, of course, my dear fellow. There's a certain man in this house who thinks that door is the door to end all doors.
It's a light, a blue light.
Why don't you ask him what the point is?
Temperature?
Much lower. Possibly the location of a ley line. There should be evidence of it through that window.
You have guessed, haven't you?
What?
The door. Whose idea it was?
No, you tell me.
Well, our host. His lordship, of course.
What's behind that door?
He's got a special device. Must have something to hide. He's the only person who knows how to use it.
There's something moving.
Tell me.
It's twisting, turning, and writhing. It's...
More champagne.
Come back, Sapphire.
Sapphire!
fast, haven't you?
What? The door? Whose idea it was?
No, you tell me.
Well, our host. His lordship, of course.
What's behind that door?
He's got a special device. Must have something to hide. He's the only person who knows how to use it.
There's something moving.
Tell me.
It's twisting, turning, and writhing. It's...
More champagne.
Come back, Sapphire. Sapphire!
All irregularities will be handled by the forces controlling each dimension. Transuranic heavy elements may not be used where there is life. Medium atomic weights are available. Gold, lead, copper, jet, diamond, radium, sapphire, silver, and steel. Sapphire and steel have been assigned.
Do you hear me? Come back.
The door interests you.
Ah, Arthur. The very man. He'll explain all. Excuse me.
Yes, I see it has no handle, no lock.
Nothing mysterious, I'm afraid. It's a security door, that's all. Leads to my office.
The heart of Mulreen International.
The nerve center, you might say.
How fascinating.
Not really. It's just something I...
This time it must be Tony Purnell and his girlfriend.
You will excuse me, won't you?
It's in there, behind the door. A feeling of euphoria.
What do you mean?
A sense of success, of achievement.
Nothing evil?
No. Something wonderful happened in there.
I say, who's Tony Purnell?
The Purnells are our merchant bankers.
Ah, thank you.
Not at all. I'm Felix Howard,
Deputy Chairman of Mulreen International.
hole in one.
Hello, Jenkins. How are you? Look after these for me, will you? How's the back? Better? Thank you. Come on, dear. Gretel, how are you? Good evening. Where's himself? Yeah? Oh, hello, sir. Look, I'm awfully sorry if we're a bit late.
Oh, dear. Your clothes.
No, we've got all the gear, though. It won't take us a second to change.
Oh, yes, sir. I can do it in a jiffy.
No, this is Veronica Blamey. Veronica Lord Mulreen.
How do you do?
Maybe if we just had a quick drink.
You can't go in there like that. I mean, it's all wrong. I mean, damn it, Tony. Instructions were detailed in the invitation.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry.
Gretel, take them up to their rooms. And don't let them come down until they've changed.
Oh, look, sir.
This
I'm
way, if
awfully
you please,
sorry.
miss. Sir. I don't know if you're expecting anyone else, sir, but it's getting rather dark outside.
Oh, yes, and there's a thick fog coming up.
In the middle of June.
Funny, isn't it? Rather spooky, actually.
Oh, what a girl, there's none so classy as my fair lassie. Oh, Gretel, there's no PowerPoint for my electric razor.
PowerPoint, sir?
Oh, incidentally, I've got to call London. Does that thing work?
Yes, sir.
There's no dial on it.
Dial, sir? It's a country exchange. If you lift the receiver, the operator will get you your number.
I didn't think there are any of them left. I ought to have a shave before dinner.
I'll lay out your safety razor and shaving brush, sir.
Safety razor?
Number, please.
Oh, hello? Oh, yes, look. Can you get me a London number? Yes, it's 012468021. Oh, what do you mean, which exchange? London. That's the number. Oh! Oh, the exchange! Yes, now, what was Dad's old number at the bank? Temple Bar, Chancery, London Wall? No, it's gone. Anyway, just get it for me, will you? Oh, no, come on, don't milk the joke, love. I've got to make this call. I think his lordship's taking this joke a bit far, don't you, Grandma?
I beg your pardon, sir?
What the hell's this? Where's my electric razor?
Electric, sir? Rather dangerous, I would have thought.
These aren't mine. I mean, I just hired the tails.
Well, they came out of your suitcase, sir. If you need anything else, perhaps you will ring. The remainder of the guests are in the lounge. Dinner will be at 9.
Damn cheek. So what have they done with all my gear? Come.
Tony?
What?
Well, look.
Oh, yes.
They've swapped all my clothes and my makeup. Everything's really old. You should see my nightie. It's peach-coloured crepe de chine. And look at these.
Pure silk, fully fashioned, all the rage. In 1930.
Come in, you two. Now, that's better, I must say.
Tony, my dear boy.
Miss Emma.
You really are naughty. It's ages since we saw you last. And who is this charming young woman?
This is Veronica Blamey.
Hello, adorable child. Come and meet people. Ah, you two. This is Tony Parnell, Veronica Blaney, and...
Virginia Cavendish.
And...
Miles.
Exactly.
How do you do?
Greville, some drinks over here,
I
please.
understand you're a banker.
Born and bred, I'm afraid.
Don't you find all that money awfully tedious?
Oh, it has its uses.
He's a year older than she is, born in Maidenhead, rich family.
We've met before, haven't we?
Really? I wonder where it was.
Last season somewhere?
Oh, well, then it must have been...
She's 24, very much in love, not very bright, born in Barnes.
Cows?
No.
Oh.
Henley, perhaps.
He doesn't feel the same way. He has someone else.
No, it wasn't Henley. Well, give me time, I'll remember.
Hello. I'm Felix Hartborough. Would you care to dance?
Oh, well, if Tony doesn't mind...
No, of course not. Shall we?
Thank you. What's it to be? The Charleston? Black Bottom?
Old hat, my dear. This is 1930, you know. Foxtrot.
Of course.
Yes, I know it's urgent, Mr. Fairfax, but my orders from Lord Mulreen were most specific. He is not to be disturbed. No, I'm sorry. His party isn't to be interrupted under any circumstances. Oh, yes, he was in the office, just about 3 minutes ago. All right, look. Let me look into the drawing room, and if his guests haven't arrived yet, I'll talk to him. All right, hold the line a moment. Mr. Fairfax, look, I'm awfully sorry, but the security device that opens the door doesn't seem to be working. No, I've no idea how to mend it. It's probably just the batteries. But I'm afraid we'll have to leave it for now. But I will certainly give Lord Mulreen your message as soon as I see him. All right. Goodbye.
It's here, Steele.
In this room?
Yes, no. All around us.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. No birthday party is complete without a birthday cake. And as this is a very special birthday party, Mulreen International provides a very special cake commemorating 50 years of achievement and splendid growth.
Pressure, can you feel it?
No.
And I think it would be rather nice if we invite the youngest here tonight to cut the cake.
Excellent. Oh, I think that must be me.
Well, it certainly isn't Miss Emma, is it?
It certainly is not. Oh, I don't think I can.
Well, pretend it's your wedding cake, Veronica.
Who's the lucky man, Veronica?
Jolly good, then. When do we eat it?
After dinner with the coffee.
But first, I would like you all to raise your glasses in a toast.
Mulreen International.
No, not to Mulreen International, but to the memory of one who, as my sister has pointed out on more than one occasion tonight, has gone from us. To my old partner. No, my old friend. To George McDee.
Steel.
Oh, the cake!
Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm not late.
George!
George, about time, too.
What are you talking about, woman?
You. You're late as usual. Let's have a look at you.
It can't be. It can't be.
Oh, Arthur's really pulled one off this time.
Just what do you think you're doing?
What I always have to do. You can never tie a bow properly.
How dare you?
Who is he?
George McDee. He's Mulreen's partner.
Don't you mean was Mulreen's partner?
No, he's not a ghost.
Arthur? Arthur? Is this your idea of a joke?
No. No, I don't understand. It's him.
Oh, nonsense. But it's a remarkable likeness.
Fascinating.
What?
George, what's the matter? I always have to straighten your tie.
I've never set eyes on you in my life.
But, George, it's me, Felicity, your wife.
He's very much alive. He's due to die on the 22nd of June, 1930.
Grandmama.
Wheesht, woman. Stop your ramblings. You're 50 years too old to be my wife.
Oh!
I have 50 years at the very least.
Oh, Arthur, tell him.
22nd of June, that's tomorrow.
Yes.
I don't know what you think you're playing at, but I think you should apologize to Felicity.
Come on.
Is everybody mad around here? What's going on?
That's what I want to know.
Is she a loony or what?
Greville, bring a whiskey for Mr. McDee, quickly.
Mrs. McDee, is it? You can bring me a large dram while you're at it, man. I've a feeling I'm going to have need of it.
Excuse me, sir.
Malcolm, can you explain what's going on here?
Malcolm?
Yes, you boy, do you not know your own name now?
Grandmama, what is he talking about?
Grandmama, is it?
Yes.
I tell you, she's no grandmama of yours.
Well, how would you know?
I'll thank you to have more respect, young man. Remember who it is you're addressing.
Well, I'd be delighted if I knew who you were.
Do you not know your own father?
My father's dead.
He must be the image of his father at the same age.
Malcolm, what are you saying?
Malcolm? I'm not Malcolm. That was my father's name. I'm Howard.
Well, what do we do?
Nothing yet. Not until we find out which one of them is being used.
Where's Arthur? This has all the marks of one of his wee stunts. Where's Mr. Mulreen?
Lord Mulreen is there, sir.
Lord Mulreen, is it? Well, whoever you may be, and whatever your name is, I've no time for party games tonight. I've important work to see to. You can bring me that dram in my laboratory. Flappers. No wonder we've a slump coming. Congratulations, Arthur. Quite splendid.
Well, I thought it was in very bad taste.
Something odd. There's something I ought to remember. Something wrong, Felicity?
There, Felicity. These men, they'll never change.
I think Mrs. McDee might benefit from a little rest.
Come along. You've had rather a nasty shock. I'll get you up to your bedroom and then you'll be fine. Don't upset yourself. Come along.
No consideration. You mark my words, Arthur. He'll shut himself away in that laboratory again, and we shan't see him for the rest of the evening. Poor Felicity.
Poor Felicity indeed. Don't be such a hypocrite, Emma. It doesn't become you. Come on, everybody, fill up your glasses and drink up. This is supposed to be a party.
Thank you, I'd love
Some
a glass
nice
of
fresh champagne
Thank
just
you.
been
Thank you,
poured
sir.
out. Thank you, Gribble. Splendid.
Well, which one?
I don't know. I've been trying to analyze them, but there's something stopping me.
That means it probably knows about us.
It always does.
There you are, Grandmama.
Thank you, my dear. And will you please undo this one? I shall be quite all right now.
Are you sure? I mean, you've had a nasty shock.
Shock? Oh, no, dear. I was just a little tired, that's all. Long journeys always tire me.
Long journeys?
Yes, yes. Now, please don't fuss.
No. No, I won't. I'm certain something happened. I'm sure there was...
I shall come down to dinner in half an hour. So off you go and rejoin the others. We don't want to spoil Arthur's little party, do we?
No. No, we don't.
That's right. Now run along, Malcolm.
Tony deserting, my dear. We can't have that, can we? Pretty girl like you.
Thank you.
You mustn't let this house get you down. Old Arthur acts fierce, but he's pretty soft, really.
I'll try to remember that.
You, known Tony long?
No, I
How long?
can't remember. I don't know. Oh, dear.
He takes after his father, I'm afraid. You met Malcolm yet? I've known him since I was in nappies.
Tony says I'd make a good actress. I think I'd like that.
Oh. And what have your long-suffering parents to say about that?
I don't know.
Rather irregular sort of existence. I prefer to know where the next Range Rover's coming from.
Tony says... says...
This will never do. This is supposed to be a party. Listen, everybody, I think we should all play an exciting game before dinner.
Oh, no,
Now,
Emma.
Arthur, we always play games at my parties. What's it going to be?
Well, it's not going to be postman's knock this time, Emma.
I know, sardines.
Sardines? Where are the bones?
All over the house, except the servants' quarters. Greville, how much longer?
60 seconds to go, Miss Emma. 59, 58, 57...
What about Felicity's room? She's resting.
It's out of bounds, too, and so is the grandfather clock. Somebody hid in it last time, and it hasn't worked since.
Why don't you hide in it, darling? It may start up again.
Now, Annabelle, not too much naughtiness. Ah, there you are, Malcolm, just in time.
Yes, I'm not Malcolm.
Never mind, dear. Come and join the game. We're going to play sardines. Such fun. And we've time for just one go before dinner, haven't we? Greville, how much longer?
35 seconds to go, Miss Emma. 34, 33...
What's too much naughtiness?
Sardines, what a lot of ridiculous tomfoolery.
Nonsense, Arthur. You know you've always adored playing sardines. Why, when we were at Bertie's last month, you couldn't wait to play. Or perhaps that was because little Maisie Hamilton was there.
Little Maisie Hamilton? I've never had anything to do with little Maisie Hamilton.
Come along, Emma. That's a bit hot.
We've just sent Veronica off to hide, Malcolm.
No, I'm not Malcolm.
Never mind. Greville, how long has she got?
15 seconds to go. 14, 13, 12...
Do we have to join in?
Of course we do. It'd look very odd if we didn't. Anyway, it might be quite fun. If we don't cheat.
Well, I'm going to take a look around.
4, 3, 2, 1... Time! Time!
Professor, if you'll forgive me.
Cooey. Is anybody there? I know you're there somewhere.
Veronica? Veronica? You there? It's me. Veronica?
I thought you weren't going to join in.
Cheap fiction, romantic novels, and those.
The physics and chemistry of surfaces, the theory of elastic stability, pathology.
It's a pretty
and
mixed
surgery.
bunch of books. Well, I found this.
What is it?
A book on local history.
Useful?
Possibly.
Aha, found you. Anyone else in there with you? Aha, found you. Anyone else in there with you?
irregularities will be handled by the forces controlling each dimension. Transuranic heavy elements may not be used where there is life. Medium atomic weights are available. Gold, lead, copper, jet, diamond, radium, sapphire, silver, and steel. Sapphire and steel have been assigned.
Annabelle? Annabelle?
Howard!
What on earth are you doing?
Oh, what the devil's going on? Oh, my God.
Oh, come along, Veronica. You're spoiling it all. We weren't going to play murders till after dinner. She's not playing, is she, Arthur?
No. No, she's not playing. The girl's dead.
Did it kill Veronica? Or did someone in this house do it?
It could be one and the same.
Who would have done such a thing?
Almost anyone. Almost anyone in this house, Emma.
Poor, poor, lovely girl.
Felix, ring for the police, will you? Grevel, get somebody to cover the body.
That storm's come out of nowhere.
There's somebody missing.
No, I don't think so.
Tony Purnell, someone should tell him.
Maybe he already knows.
Everyone is going to have to remember just exactly where they were and what they were doing.
When?
Within the last...
10 minutes?
Yes. Within the last 10 minutes.
I can't even remember what happened yesterday. I can't even remember coming here.
But get on with it, man.
The knife, sir.
What about it?
It's one of ours, one of our carving knives. I laid it in the dining room earlier this evening, sir.
That would make it accessible to anyone.
Cover the poor girl.
And then there were 9.
What's she babbling on about?
Arthur, did you know that there were 10 of us here when we started?
Well, I didn't really check.
You, me, Emma, and...
Quick, what's my name?
Miles.
Miles.
Thank you. Howard, Virginia, Annabelle, and Felix.
Yes?
Veronica Blamey,
That's 9.
and Tony Purnell makes 10.
Wherever he is.
Did you get the police, Felix?
No, I couldn't.
Why not?
The telephone's dead.
Telephone dead?
Oh, now that's significant.
Why is it significant?
A dead telephone? Because it means this house is cut off from the rest of the country. It's all part of the device.
This is not a damn story. This is real.
Is it?
Anyway, we're not cut off. Storm has affected the telephone, that's all. Felix! Be a good chap, will you? Get into your car, nip down to the village and see...
Pleasure, my dear chap, but I haven't got a car.
Oh, we can arrange that.
Annabelle and I
Greville.
motored down with
Now,
McDee's.
young man, all I want you to do is
My
find
dear
the
fellow, I
constable
will go
in
with
the local
pleasure, but
village.
I didn't bring a car.
Greville will take you.
Mr. Harborough, sir?
And now the rest of us had better start looking for Purnell.
Howard, I'm going upstairs.
The door's locked. It's impossible, sir.
Fog. It's icy cold.
It won't open, sir.
Don't be so stupid, Greville. Of course it'll open. You're right. It won't. The window. Howard, smash the window.
has completely isolated this house.
There's no way out?
No conventional way out, no.
Which one of them, Sapphire? Which one of them killed her? Which one of them does it control?
Maybe it's one and the same.
Hello? Hello, operator? Hello? Oh, it's you. Look, the phone's dead.
It is a time change, most likely. And there is a logical reason for using this house. It says here that it's on a ley line. The line runs right across this part of the country and directly through this building.
It's a perfect place for turning the clock back.
And it's using the summer solstice, the perfect time. Have you any idea who it's using?
Nothing definite. I need to get closer to make contact.
Well, then make contact.
Steele, I need something tangible, something concrete.
Tony Purnell's champagne glass. It's his last physical contact since the girl's death. No one has touched it since he put it down. You can start there.
Anthony Purnell, son of a merchant banker. Fast cars, expensive clothes, money, women. It's that barrier again, Steele.
Break through it.
Tony Purnell. He was here only a few days ago. June the 18th.
This year? Who did he come to see? Mulreen?
No, he was in London. Purnell came to see someone else in this house. Mulreen's secretary.
Purnell came to see?
Anne Shaw. In Mulreen's office, here, behind that green door. They're kissing. No, she's angry with him. She knows about Veronica Blamey. She's jealous. He tells her not to worry. He says Veronica will not be a threat. He says he can easily get rid of her. Purnell.
Where?
I don't know, somewhere in the house. A gunshot, I think.
When?
Soon.
What on earth?
Sir? What is it, Greville?
There's no sign of Mr. Purnell at the back of the house, sir.
No sign at all?
None of the servants has seen him.
But that can't be possible. I mean, the man just can't disappear in thin air, can he?
Control your appetites, darling, and he's tried to grow up.
Did you find anything?
Nothing.
His room's a shambles. He's not there. I can't find him anywhere.
Oh, he can't get out.
That's right. No one can get out.
Now look here. I want to know what the devil's going on. For starters, I want to know who you two are.
I beg your pardon.
We were invited. We're not gate crashers.
I'm not answering the question.
Yes, who are you? I don't remember.
I doubt if any of you can remember very much.
What are you talking about?
A tear in the fabric of time. I read somewhere that the inability to remember is one of the symptoms.
I'm awfully sorry, but you're not making any sense at all.
I can remember perfectly.
Can you, sir?
Yes.
Where were you, Lord Mulreen, 3 days ago on June the 18th?
Here?
No.
Well, I must have been in London then.
Correct.
And what were you doing in London?
What I always do. Business.
Go on.
In the afternoon, I went to my club to Denver for lunch, and in the evening, I went to the theatre, the Knightsbridge Tivoli.
Impossible.
Are you calling me a liar?
With all respect, sir, it is impossible for you to have done either of those things 3 days ago.
The Knightsbridge Tivoli closed its doors for the last time in 1934. And the Denver was, I believe, blitzed in 1941.
You see?
It's some sort of conjuring trick.
Is it? Where were you yesterday, Mr. Harborough? Where did you have lunch today, Mrs. Harborough? What is the registration number of your car, Mr. McDee? Can't remember. No? Well, what kind of a car is it? What make, Mr. McDee?
Well, it's a...
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. By now, I would venture to say that none of us can remember arriving at this house tonight, nor why we came.
Come and sit down, Miles.
Thank you. Now, it is impossible to know what is happening outside this house, assuming that there is an outside to the house. The clock is moving backwards. For the moment, there is no past and no future.
There was a murder, I remember that.
Was there?
Well, of course there was. I found the body. Don't be so stupid.
Then let us refresh our memories. If Greville would be kind enough...
Of course, sir.
...to remove the sheet from the body.
Oh, no, please.
Now, look here, that's obscene.
Sir?
Yes, go ahead. Changing, bodies disappearing. There's no logic to it, and that's what I don't like.
Well, you cannot
The girl
rely on...
was murdered. There was a knife sticking out of her back, and she couldn't have put it there. And now she's gone and Tony Purnell's disappeared.
There is a logic to it somewhere.
Rubbish.
If we can find it.
Listen, my memory's gone completely. I can't think where I had lunch today. I simply can't remember.
I can't even remember my own car.
There's no logic and no sense to it.
No. There is a sense to it. You see, Lord Mulreen provided the setting. A party, a celebration back in 1930. Everything authentic. And set in a house that sits astride an ancient ley line.
Miles, what exactly is a ley line?
It's a line of increased magnetic activity on the Earth's surface.
I believe birds navigate by them.
And then there's the date, the summer solstice. No, it's all very significant. June the 21st, 1930.
That's today.
Yes, today, but 50 years ago. What was he doing? And what was he working on?
Why didn't you ask him yourself? He's here.
You can't interrupt him while he's in his laboratory.
Absurd.
No, you can't disturb him. Felix, no. Don't you dare go in there.
You can't get in anyway.
Tony Purnell may be in there. Nobody's looked, have they?
We're talking about George McDee, about his work.
George never talks about his work. At least not until the project he's working on is finished.
Well, you must have some idea.
Yes, it's a medicine of some sort, I think.
Medicine?
Yes, he's in there messing about with genetics. You know, biology and all that stuff. Have you ever heard of these? So ludicrous.
Genetic engineering.
Serum biology.
Yes.
Anyway, someone at the ministry has swallowed the idea, evidently. It's all very secret. Hush, hush.
A medicine for which disease?
To hear him talk, all of them. He's nattering on about giving it to the whole population. George.
What was he doing, Sapphire? What was he working on?
He has almost succeeded. He's very close. He's broken the genetic code. He's replacing... No, he's manipulating the genetic characteristics of a virus. It will save thousands of lives. One more day, Steele. One more day, and he will succeed.
To save lives? Then why should it keep him alive?
Because Because he's careless, Steel. He will cause the extinction of life on this planet by his carelessness.
So on June the 21st, 1930, this planet faces extinction, unless...
On June the 22nd, George McDee dies.
No! What are you saying?
That's tomorrow. How do you know my grandfather dies tomorrow?
Because he has to.
If you're so clever, Mr. Cavendish, at what time?
Arthur, we've got a little bit of a problem.
Oh, God, a little bit of a problem, says Emma.
It's about dinner. Greville's getting quite anxious.
Dinner? Who the devil can think about dinner, Emma?
Well, somebody has to. We've got chugged hair and all sorts of lovely other things. The kitchen staff went to a great deal of trouble. Is nobody hungry?
Mr. Purnell, sir, they've been looking for you.
Yes, I know.
You all right, sir?
No, I'm not. Someone or something tried to kill me.
I'll tell Lord Malrine, sir.
No! Tell Cavendish. Tell him I'm in here. Tell him I must speak to him.
Yes, sir.
No one else, Greville. No one else.
Just as you say, sir. Why don't you sit down, sir?
What is so significant about 1930? What happened in this house 50 years ago?
If we find out who it is, then we'll know. Well, let's try George McDee again. He must have had this in his hands at some time or other.
You're asking for a manifestation.
Yes, published in
Well, it's too
1922.
difficult. It's a very long time ago and it's too dangerous.
Give it a try.
Yes, he was in this room sometime during that day. But I can't tell when.
Sapphire.
Mr. McDee?
Yes? What do you want?
To talk.
Oh, I've no time for that. I've work to do. Who are you, anyway? One of Arthur's flapper set?
Not exactly.
All right, well, you'd better get back out there. I'm sure Emma's about to organize one of those daft party games of hers. Sardines, I shouldn't wonder.
Well, we've already played that.
Aye, well, I've no time for idle chatter, young man.
What do you know of dioxyribonucleic acid, Mr. McDee?
What?
The transference of coded genetic material, cloning bacteria, encouraging them to produce your vaccine.
How do you know about that? Has Arthur been blethering again?
Do you know the danger involved?
There is no danger. No, the only real danger is to the millions who may die without my vaccine.
Such laboratory procedures must be carefully controlled.
They are carefully controlled.
Bacteria can escape from the laboratory.
It couldn't happen.
You cannot be certain.
Oh, even if it did, they'd be killed off. They could never withstand the change in temperature, for one thing.
But is it not possible for a strain of bacteria not only to withstand the change in temperature, but also to become immune, and therefore highly lethal?
Are you a scientist?
I can tell you what will happen if you don't call a halt to your work right now.
Who put you up to this? Are you one of Alec Fleming's lot?
Others will come later. They will find a means to control and use genetic engineering.
I sincerely hope
You
so.
don't have the facilities yet.
I've lost him.
Of course I have the facilities.
I've lost him.
I've been working on this theorem for 6 years. How dare you?
Mr. Cavendish. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Madam, did I disturb you?
Yes, I'm afraid you did, Greville.
It's Mr. Purnell, sir.
You found him?
He's in the dining room, sir. He didn't really appear to be lost. Somewhat dishevelled, though. He said that he wanted to see you, sir.
Don't go.
Of course, Greville.
Nobody else?
Certainly.
Mr. Purnell led me to believe that it was rather urgent, sir.
Don't go, Steele. Don't go in there.
What is it?
Listen.
You told me.
You forgot.
That was a gunshot, sir.
Yes, it was.
From inside the dining room.
Don't be silly. Nobody takes guns into dining rooms.
Emma, stop your prattling.
It might be Tony in there.
Where are the others, Howard and Felix?
Felix went upstairs to get some cigarettes.
And I thought Howard was in the library.
No, he isn't.
Well, for God's sake, let's get in there.
And then there were 8.
Suicide.
The gun is well out of his reach.
He killed the girl, then shot himself. Stands to reason.
There's no reason for any of this.
Oh, yes, there's a reason for all of it. The time change, the murders, the barrier around this house.
It's just very difficult for Miles to pinpoint.
If you don't pinpoint it quickly, there won't be any of us left to care. Care.
Don't go in there.
What is it?
Listen.
You told me.
You forgot.
That was a gunshot, sir.
Yes, it was.
From inside the dining room.
Don't be silly. Nobody takes guns into dining rooms.
Emma, stop your prattling.
It might be Tony in there.
Where are the others, Howard and Felix?
Felix went upstairs to get some cigarettes.
And I thought Howard was in the library.
No, he isn't.
Well, for God's sake, let's get in there.
And then there were 8.
Suicide.
The gun is well out of his reach.
He killed the girl, then shot himself. Stands to reason.
There's no reason for any of this.
Oh, yes, there's a reason for all of it. The time change, the murders, the barrier around this house.
It's just very difficult for Miles to pinpoint.
If you don't pinpoint it quickly, there won't be any of us left to care. Care.
All irregularities will be handled by the forces controlling each dimension. Transuranic heavy elements may not be used where there is life. Medium atomic weights are available. Gold, lead, copper, jet, diamond, radium, sapphire, silver, and steel. Sapphire and steel have been assigned.
No, nobody else. I can't bear
Perhaps
it.
you'll take the ladies back to the drawing room, sir?
Very good idea. Come on, everybody, let's get out of here. Excuse me, Miss Emma.
I must get Greville to tidy up in here before dinner, Greville.
We know that Tony Purnell was in love with Anne Shaw, Mulreen's secretary.
Not necessarily in love. He was using her.
There's a difference?
On this planet, yes.
Veronica Blamey was in the way.
I'd say so.
Is that strong enough motive for murder?
It depends what he was using her for, what he wanted from her.
Access to Mulreen's office records. His plans for the future. George McDee's notes from 50 years ago. Are any of those sufficient motive?
Who has a motive to kill Tony Purnell?
Well, Purnell's a bankers to Mulreen International. Maybe it has something to do with the bank. Could the bank be in trouble?
No, the motives are irrelevant. They're merely part of the setting, part of the time change.
Merely for more than murders?
The clues are here. We already have them.
We have?
Do you remember when I first met Veronica Blamey?
Yes, what about it?
I received information about her birth and background, but not that she was going to die.
Well, either you made a mistake, or Veronica Blamey isn't dead.
And assuming that.
Neither is Tony Purnell.
Tony Purnell and Veronica Blamey. I wonder what the link is.
Well, they came here together. He's 25, she's 24. They're the two youngest.
I don't mean the link between them. I mean the link between them and
The two youngest, killing them off one by one, starting with the youngest.
Steel.
What is it?
It's getting closer.
Yes, but where?
It's very close.
You realize it's fooling us, don't you? Drawing us further and further away from the truth. It's setting us puzzles about these murders that it knows we're innately bound to solve.
So are we. Miles and Virginia.
What are you talking about?
It's having to deal with us on more than one level, as Sapphire Steel and as Miles and Virginia.
And as long as it has to deal with them...
We stand a chance of winning.
Yes, well, I wonder where the next puzzle is coming from.
The molecular structure is altering.
It's going back in time.
No, Steel.
Back 50 years.
It's aging.
Yes, it's going backwards.
Steel, things age forwards. From 1930 to 1980. Look at the dust. The cobwebs. This is as it would have been if it had lain here for 50 years. McDee.
Yes, but look at it. There's not a mark on it. No oxidization, no dust, nothing.
It's in a different time frame. Steel. That gun is going to be used again.
Where are we, Sapphire? Get us back. Now.
God, this is ridiculous.
Howard, you look dreadful.
Where the devil have you been, Howard?
Trying to get out of here. It's absolutely impossible. So there were an impenetrable barrier across all the windows and doors. Do you know most of the servants have left?
See, Arthur? You can't depend on servants at all these days.
Well, Greville is still here. You can always depend on him.
Well, Greville is special.
Oh, Felix.
Hello, darling. Have I missed anything?
Yes, you have. Purnell is dead.
Good grief.
So where the devil have you been?
Well, it's slightly embarrassing in mixed company. Rather too much of your excellent champagne. Had to pump ship.
Took you long enough.
How did Purnell die?
He was shot through the heart.
Shot through the heart?
Yes.
Howard McDee, do you own a revolver?
Yes, I do. I've had it for ages. My father gave it to me.
And where is that revolver now?
Upstairs in my suitcase.
No, I'm afraid it isn't.
How are you? Are you accusing Howard, Mr. Cavendish?
Yes, I recognize that. That's yours, Howard.
It was in the other room, close to the body. Still warm when I picked it up.
I haven't been anywhere near the dining room. Well, I mean, I assume it was in the dining room.
That's enough. I will not have Howard intimidated in this way.
How do you intimidate a blackmailer, Mrs. McDee?
Blackmailer?
Your precious Howard. He'd been blackmailing Tony Purnell for ages.
Why should Howard do a thing like that?
Tony'd been filching money from his father's bank.
It's all a lie, Grandmama.
I'm afraid it's true, Felicity. Tony made a clean breast of it a few days ago. His father was going to make good all the money he embezzled.
On one condition, that Tony went to the police.
But you had to stop Tony from doing that. Didn't you, Howard?
I haven't killed anybody. This is a monstrous suggestion. Oh, this is absurd. I'm going to see for myself.
This
gets crazier by the minute.
Howard is right. There is nobody. There is no evidence
But
whatsoever.
you said that you saw...
I saw 2 murders, Felix, 2 bodies. The Blamey girl and young Purnell.
Yes, that is what you saw. But I don't think Tony Purnell was responsible for the knife in Veronica Blamey's back. Nor do I think Howard McDee shot Tony Purnell.
Thank you. You mean somebody else is the killer?
Someone else is responsible, yes. And I don't think they've finished yet. In fact,
Green bottle should accidentally fall. No, Felicity, that's the wrong tune. Listen. If one green bottle should accidentally fall, there'll be 7 green bottles hanging on the wall. 7 green bottles hanging on the wall. 7 green bottles hanging on the wall. And if one green bottle should accidentally fall, there'll be 6.
You're sure you only touched the barrel?
Of course.
6 green bottles hanging there. 6 green bottles hanging on the wall. And if one green bottle should accidentally fall.
They are real.
Both of them?
Yes. The knife has been used hundreds of times by many people. It was made in Sheffield in 1924 and brought into this house by Greville.
Who used it on Veronica Blamey?
No living soul.
And the revolver? Who used it on Purnell?
No living soul.
In this house, Sapphire, something hidden, something disguised.
A force inhabiting something.
Yes, well, tell me some more about that.
It was made in Birmingham in 1928 and brought into this house by George McDee.
You can't tell who used it on Purnell.
No living soul.
Yeah, well, that's not going to tell us much.
It's all so eerie. Dreadful things keep happening.
Do you know what I think?
No one cares, Emma.
I think it's a poltergeist. I think it's a dear little poltergeist trying to tell us something.
I'm not sorry about this.
Who do you suppose could have killed Tony Purnell?
If anybody did.
What are you talking about, Howard? We all saw the body.
Yes, but can you see it now?
That's right, dear. You stand up for yourself.
Until they put a rope round your neck and you can't anymore.
Now then, Felix, there's no time for any more games. Not even hangman before dinner.
Oh, do keep quiet, you silly old sausage.
Don't be rude, Arthur. Not even to Emma.
Really,
Did you learn anything?
A need to kill in this house.
Then we are its only obstacle. It's having to concentrate on us.
The power resides in this house. Everything else is irrelevant to the central intention.
Which is?
The need to retrace the years back to 1930. Until time takes a different course.
What can I say, Felix, except it's been in the family for years?
You still can't deny the fact that it was your gun. And you did have a motive.
Would appear so, yes.
I don't think Miles would agree with you.
What the devil does he know about it? Come to think of it, who the hell is he anyway?
Now, mind your language, Howard. In front of the ladies.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm so sorry.
Think nothing of it.
I wasn't talking to you. There we are, Grandmama.
Oh, thank you, Malcolm.
I must say, I wish somebody could tell me what on earth is going on around here.
I'll second that.
Well, the same, you know, Arthur, Howard does have a point. I mean, here we are, all friends together.
Ha ha.
At least we all know a very great deal about each other. Except for the Cavendishes, about whom we know nothing.
They are my guests, and that should be good enough.
All you can tell us about him is that he's in futures. Where did you meet him, Arthur?
I met him at my club. He introduced himself, and we got talking business.
And now you're perfectly happy to let him undertake the investigation of 2 apparent murders?
Yes.
Why?
Because he's qualified.
You were right.
What?
The motives for the murders are irrelevant. What do you mean by a different course?
An uncontrollable disaster in the middle of 1930.
And no one knew?
Well, it was frustrated on June the 22nd, 50 years ago.
So now it's going to take us back to that day and then rearrange the events that followed. And for that
It needs George McDee. It can't let him die. If it can keep him alive, he will accidentally cause the disaster. Life will end on this planet.
Does it need any of the other people in this house? Felix and Annabelle Harbour, Howard McDee, Emma, the others?
They're living in a void, in a vacuum.
Have any of them been taken over?
Ah. So this is where you two lovely people are hiding.
Well, we weren't exactly hiding.
Well, whatever you were doing, you'll have to stop it now.
Dinner?
We've decided to eat at last.
Miles.
We put it off quite long enough. Greville's getting exasperated, I can tell. And if Cook goes into a sulk, the pudding will be a disaster.
Ah, Cavendish. We're led to believe that you're a qualified detective.
In a way, yes.
What precisely do you mean by that?
I'm a specialized investigator.
In futures. Perhaps he works out who's going to commit the crime before it happens, eh? Well, you did mention that you were in the futures market.
How absolutely fascinating.
Well?
Can you guess who'll be next?
Well, since you ask, yes, I can.
So that's why you haven't asked us what we were doing at the time of the murders.
Perhaps you can tell us what we're going to be doing at the time of the next murder, eh?
If I were you, Mr. McDee, I wouldn't take the next few hours too lightly.
Dinner is served, sir.
Dinner. Splendid. Come along, everybody. Now then, who's going to take in who? We've got a rather special jugged hare tonight. It's excellent. Arthur shot it himself.
Oh, Arthur's rather a dab hand with a gun, aren't you, Arthur?
It's not the shooting of the hare that matters, it's the excitement of the watching and waiting.
I don't mind trying to eat the poor creature, Arthur, but I will not listen to the details of it.
I love my brother dearly, but he's too fond of shooting things. Ooh.
Oh, this is too wretched. I shan't be able to eat a thing.
Oh, Cook will be so disappointed. Do try, Felicity. Won't you sit down, everybody?
Sapphire.
The rule is to start from the outside and work your way through to the last fork and spoon.
I'm sorry, Miss Emma, but I'm afraid I'm not very hungry either.
Oh, what a shame. I do like to see good appetites around me.
In spite of what may have happened, to take them away.
Oh, yes. We must eat, drink, and be merry. For tomorrow... Oh, Greville, what am I saying?
I know it's awful, but I feel ravenous.
Annabelle, how can you be so callous?
I can't help it.
Annabelle's appetites thrive on crisis.
Rather like my thirst.
George, darling.
Hello. Oh, Emma.
Hello? I hope you don't mind. I had to see you. George? George, darling.
Hello. Oh, Emma.
Hello? I hope you don't mind. I had to see you.
This is idiotic, Emma.
You told her?
Not yet. Turn that thing down, will you? I've been too busy here.
Promised you'd tell her.
And I will, really, I will.
When?
Very soon, I promise. Now, you be a good girl and get out of here before anybody notices.
If they do notice. I only came to say we're just starting dinner.
Aye, well, you be a good girl and get along without me. I'll be along in a minute.
Yes. George,
Yes?
shall I see you tonight?
Yes, of course.
Come to my room when she's in bed and asleep. When they're all asleep. I'll be waiting.
This chap who had a couple of drinks said to Emma, "Do you know the road to Mandalay?" And she said, "Yes. Shall I sing it?" And he said, "No, take it." I thought that was rather funny. Oh, there you are, Emma.
We were just talking about you.
We missed you, Emma.
I've just been making sure everything's all right in the kitchen. Somebody had to give cook a hand.
I see no one had the courtesy to wait for me.
You know you don't like being disturbed when you're working, George.
Revel, you've kept something for Mr. McDee, haven't you?
Yes, Miss Emma?
There's a draft in that drawing room.
Yes, there is. I noticed it earlier. It chilled me to the bone.
It's always been there, George.
You won't find it much warmer in here.
Oh, look, it's midsummer.
The night of the summer solstice.
No doubt you're qualified to tell us all about it.
Thank you.
Well, it's the points on the elliptic which mark...
Miles, you can tell me.
It's the points on the elliptic that mark the Earth's position at the sun's extreme limit of distance, north and south of the equator.
Fascinating.
It's all double Dutch to me.
It's the longest day of the year. We have very little control over our fates on the night of June the 21st.
Oh, dear.
Rubbish. A sensible man can always control his own fate.
Do you think so, Mr. McDee?
Show me a sensible...
They all seem to be accepting his presence now.
Howard isn't.
Shall I serve it now, sir, or wait until the ladies have retired?
I, for one, have no intention of retiring, Arthur.
Safety in numbers, eh, Felicity?
Quite right. I think we should all stay together.
Oh, I don't think we should stay while the men are smoking.
Nonsense, Emma. We're all going to stick together.
Oh, serve the port, Greville, and let's get it over with.
Yes, sir. For you?
No, it makes me livery. Start at the other end.
Yes, sir. Mr. Cavendish. Sir.
Well, come along, man. It's with you.
Yes.
You're not drinking, Cavendish?
If you're not, would you mind passing it?
Oh, sorry.
Good God, man, clockwise.
Oh, shut up, Howard.
Sapphire? What is going on?
It's the custom here to pass this particular drink to the left.
Why?
Well, it's just one of their childish superstitions.
May I offer you the first toast of the evening?
Oh, no speech is
To
hard.
Mulreen and McDee. To the millions they will make out of other people's pain and misery. To our hosts, charlatans and purveyors of blood.
Howard, you are a pest.
Who are you?
I'm...
Do you think he's drunk, Arthur? A bit squiffy?
On the contrary, I'm afraid he's a bit dead.
Offer you the first toast of the evening.
Oh, no speech is
To
hard.
Mulreen and McDee. To the millions they will make out of other people's pain and misery. To our hosts, charlatans and purveyors of blood.
Howard, you are a pest.
Who are you?
I'm...
Do you think he's drunk, Arthur? A bit squiffy?
On the contrary, I'm afraid he's a bit dead.
All irregularities will be handled by the forces controlling each dimension. Transuranic heavy elements may not be used where there is life. Medium atomic weights are available. Gold, lead, copper, jet, diamond, radium, sapphire, silver, and steel. Sapphire and steel have been assigned.
Out of my way, then. Don't touch. I am the doctor around here. It's cyanide. Cyanide, without a doubt.
Greville.
My lord?
Did you decant the port?
Well, of course, sir, but it's been standing on the sideboard
anyone
all
could have
evening.
tampered with it.
Yes, sir.
I've always warned him about drinking stuff like this.
Oh, don't lecture
What
us,
are you going
George.
to do about all this?
Why me?
It's your house. It's about time you started doing something.
What a mess. This tablecloth will be
Oh,
ruined,
really, Emma? This is no
absolutely
time to talk about tablecloth.
Darling. Well, Arthur?
Oh, don't well Arthur me. I never did like the fellow. He was a damn nuisance in the boardroom.
Well, he hadn't the brains of a flea.
No.
Vultures! That's just what I'd have expected. The poor boy's not even cold, and you've started to pick over his bones.
Hardly that. Though one can't help wondering what happens to his shares.
I'll not stay and listen to this.
Oh, no, you don't. You stay here. Everyone will until we get to the bottom of this affair. Miles, lock that door.
I don't think it'll do
I
any
said
good.
lock it.
Might as well do as she says.
Thank you. Sit down. Now, Miles, you're going to start questioning us. Find out who had the best motive. We all had good ones, I'm sure.
I think we should move poor Howard. He doesn't look at all comfortable.
Don't touch him.
What?
Take your hands off my son.
Your son?
Never forget, Emma. I know.
Haven't you done enough damage?
Oh, great God. I'm on my way back to my laboratory.
You can't. I have the key. My God.
I need a drink.
I shouldn't if I were you.
Tell me, there was... I didn't imagine it all, did I?
No, you didn't imagine it.
What's going to happen to me? I'm next, aren't I?
There is danger in this house for all of us.
That's very good, Emma.
How can you take all this so calmly?
Is there any
First
other way?
Veronica, then Tony, now Howard.
Look, my dear, when you get to my age...
How old are you, Arthur?
What?
Really, Felicity, what a question. One should never ask anyone's age over 30.
Oh, don't be so coy, Emma. You're 3 years younger than I am. Everybody knows that.
And how old is that?
Revel, I think we're ready for coffee.
Now, just a
Splendid
minute.
idea.
What about Howard?
Who?
Howard McDee. He was here.
Revel, would you please sprinkle some salt on the tablecloth? Someone seems to have upset the port.
I do hope it wasn't George.
George? Where is he?
He's gone back to his laboratory.
I sometimes wonder why I ever married that man. He really does think more of his work than he does of me.
Don't complain, Felicity. Just remember how lucky you are.
Greville, serve the coffee in the lounge, will you, please?
Yes, Mr. Mulreen. In a moment, Miss Emma, if you'll excuse us.
How can they?
Greville, will you leave us, please?
Yes, madam.
Perhaps they are under no immediate threat.
And we are.
Yes. What year were you born, Mr. Harborough?
Me? 1931.
And your wife?
Later. Much later.
Thank you.
It all seems perfectly obvious.
Yes.
What seems perfectly obvious?
Talking in riddles.
I'm afraid you're both in considerable danger.
Of being murdered.
Something like that, yes.
Well, by whom? Do you know who's committing these crimes?
More or
For
less.
heaven's sake, man, tell us who.
No living soul.
Oh, really? This is preposterous.
I entirely agree. Look, Cavendish, if you really are a detective, isn't it time you stopped talking in riddles and did some detecting?
Particularly if you think I'm going to be next.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we're dealing with something far more important
More
than the lives...
Oh, really, I'm not staying here to listen to this. I'm going to speak to Arthur.
For once in your life, my darling, a very good idea.
June the 22nd, 1930.
Present that night were Mulreen and Emma, Felicity and George.
And Greville. He went through the door.
Yes. He's older than he looks. How will it deal with Felix and Annabelle? How else do humans destroy one another?
Oh, they have so many ways.
Ah, the new record, Emma.
Arthur, could I have a word with you?
Oh, I do adore this music, don't you, Felicity?
Not really, Emma. I think it's rather vulgar.
Arthur, I must
It'll
talk
make
to you.
money then, my dear.
Very probably,
I
Arthur.
think I'm going mad.
It's so up to date. It's as much part of 1930 as Amy Johnson or the R100 airship.
Airship. Now there's something that'll make a packet for someone with enough capital and foresight.
What's that, Arthur?
Airships, Emma.
Silly.
Here we are spending hundreds of thousands of pounds to build great ocean liners like the Empress of Britain and the Britannic, when the real future is up there.
Arthur!
Yes, up there in the skies. Look at the way the R100 can fly, all the way to Canada.
Oh, I should love to fly an aeroplane.
You couldn't fly a kite.
It's awfully difficult to fly a kite.
If Amy Johnson can do it, why shouldn't I? Last month I was listening to a talk she was giving about her flight, and she was talking all the way from Australia. Just fancy that!
Yes, just fancy.
Wouldn't you like to fly?
Fly with wings?
That's a silly girl, an aeroplane. Arthur says I'm too idiotic even to think of such a thing. What do you say?
Well,
Come and sit down, young man, whoever you are. Come and have a seat.
I don't see why the ladies should...
In order.
After all, they seem to do most other things nowadays, don't they? Drive motor cars, motorbikes. Where?
Felix, I can't stand any more of this. You're all mad. All of you. Quite mad. It could be any one of you.
Poor Annabelle. It's not right.
She isn't dead.
No one has been murdered.
Mr. Harbour, you're going to have to suspend disbelief.
I know what we're telling you is very hard for you to accept.
Mr. Harbour, you're a shrewd man. Can you give me a rational explanation for what's happened in this house tonight?
There has been a time change. This house and everyone in it has been moved back in time.
Back to 1930. And to be consistent, everyone who wasn't born then has had to be eliminated. Hence these murders.
But you see, they never really happened. Time has simply been suspended.
You call that a rational explanation? I call it lunacy. You should be locked up, the pair of you. I wouldn't be surprised to find you were at the bottom of this whole damn business.
I am not Miles Cavendish.
And I am not Virginia Cavendish.
Thank you, Greville. They played this at the Kit Kat. And I went there last month and checked it.
So you see, no one has been killed. You won't die.
You're asking me to believe that you're a kind of interplanetary police force.
Yes.
Aliens of some sort?
In an extraterrestrial sense, yes.
And you've been sent down here?
To keep order.
There are capricious as well as dangerous elements at work in the universe.
I think you might have had the decency to consider my feelings at a time like this.
Time is not as rigid a concept as most people would believe.
With respect, young woman.
No more words, Sapphire. Show him.
You ought to listen to them, Felix. Do what they say. They really are who they say they are. It's quite extraordinary, actually, and rather fun.
Fun? But you're dead. You died there.
Not really. Halfway, if you like. It's absolutely marvelous. I've learned more up here than I ever did down there.
Where are you?
Haven't the faintest. Sort of floating, waiting. I can look at anything I want. As a matter of fact, I was just watching my first day at school when you called. Fascinating.
It's a trick.
No, it's not a trick, Felix.
All right. If you really can see anything you want to from up there, what's the colour? What's the colour of the lining paper in the drawer where I keep my shirts?
Oh, that's a bit of a teaser, Felix. Hang on a moment. Good Lord. Someone's used old wallpaper. Regency stripe, gold on white.
We don't have time for any more questions.
Who are you?
I am known as Steel.
Sapphire.
Sapphire and Steel. Are there more of you?
Oh, yes.
Bronze.
Silver.
Lead.
I see. Code names.
We need your help.
Very well. Who shall I be? Platinum? Diamond? Tin?
How about brass?
That will do fine. What do you want me to do?
Find out if Greville could have been in this house in 1930.
Right.
Before you go, you'll need this. Can you hear me?
Yes, of course I can.
Don't speak. Just think.
She has got very pretty eyes.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. Good Lord.
Sir,
What are you doing?
I found these wires leading from the fuse box. I thought it looked rather dangerous.
Do you recognize it?
Huh?
The wire. Do you keep any more like it in the house?
No, sir. I thought it looked the sort of thing Mr. McDee might have in his laboratory.
Who could have done such a terrible thing?
Indeed.
I mean, any one of us might have opened that door. Anybody.
I think not. I think
What?
it was meant only for your wife.
Show me where it goes.
The fuse box is under the back stairs.
You certainly know this house like the back of your hand, Greville. Have you lived here long?
He hasn't the ability to handle communication.
I only gave him the first level. Anyway, what makes you think he can help us?
He can't. I was just getting him out of the way. And take his mind off it. It'll come as a surprise.
How very considerate of you.
And speaking of death, isn't it about time we found out about George McDee?
He died on the 22nd.
Yes, well, it's 25 to 12 now.
Mulreen has an office through that door in the living room. George McDee was a very eminent scientist. He died young. His death would have been reported in the newspapers. There'll be a record in the office.
Yes, but that's in 1980. You could never do it. Well, there it is. But how do we open it? It has no lock, no handle, remember? How does Mulreen open it?
Electronically. He generates a signal.
What frequency?
30 kilohertz. Higher.
Virginia is our fourth. 2 clubs or forcing to?
Culbertson.
That's my girl.
I always play 1 club.
Smashing.
Good, you'll be playing with me. Arthur always plays with Greville.
He's a natural. I taught him everything he knows.
Good evening.
Oh, how did you get in here?
Through the door.
But you can't. I mean, it isn't working. You're not a ghost, are you?
Ghost?
Well, there was... I'm sorry. Can I help you?
No, thank you. I can manage. Excuse me.
Do you mind?
What operates the door?
Now, just for a moment. I don't care if you are one of Lord Mulreen's guests. You just can't walk in.
You're looking very tired, Felicity, dear. Don't you think you ought to go to bed?
Let me finish my cocoa first. I don't know how you can drink it so hot.
You could take it up with you.
Don't be in such a hurry, Emma. Arthur will play cards all night, and I never know when George comes to bed. We can sleep late in the morning.
Oh, very well. If that's the way you feel about it. But remember, 1 minute's sleep before midnight
Oh, all right,
is
Emma.
worth 1 hour after.
if it means so much to you.
Oh, careful! You're spilling it.
No trumps.
No bid.
Ah, there you are, Miles. Thought we'd lost you. No bid, partner.
Could you help me a moment, please, Virginia?
Darling, not now. I'm busy. We are vulnerable, aren't we?
Yes, madam. And 30 below the line.
30 below? What time do you make it, Felix?
11:15.
Sapphire.
4 diamonds.
Double.
4 diamonds, partner. Interesting.
Sapphire. Sapphire, answer me.
Brass here. Where were you?
I've been back into the future.
What?
What? Felix?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
I was in Mulreen's office.
You were away for almost 2 hours.
Felix?
4 no trumps.
It is playing about with time, isn't it?
That's not all it's playing about with.
No bid.
What do you mean?
5 spades.
It's playing about with us, too.
Like some dreadful game.
No bid, damn it.
Yes, it's a mischievous force.
5 no trumps.
One with a warped sense of humor.
Sorry, sir, no bid.
6 hearts.
Double.
It's not a joke, I'm afraid.
No?
A contest of wits.
What? Yes, it certainly is. Come on, old man, let us off the hook. What's it going to be?
7 diamonds.
No bid.
Pass.
Double.
Redouble.
What? Greville?
Content.
Content. Spades. Hearts. Diamonds and...
Oh, no. Ah.
a club.
Thank you, partner.
Why didn't you answer me?
We bid 7 diamonds.
What of it?
What do you want me to do?
I need some feminine guile.
You don't play bridge, do you?
I'm sorry, this is a private office.
I've come to apologize for my husband. Darling.
Sorry.
Lord Mulreen has been very generous with the champagne. He's such a wonderful host.
Yes, he is, isn't he? Does he know you're in here?
That's a lovely blouse.
What? Oh, thank you. You see...
Where did you get it?
Oh, locally, nowhere very chic.
Goodness, you are clever. I wish I could find things like that.
How very sweet of you.
We need you to help us settle an argument. Now, it has nothing to do with Lord Mulreen's private or financial affairs. It's about something that happened a long time ago.
Well, what is it you want to know exactly?
A report or a newspaper cutting concerning the death of George McDee. I understand it was a tragedy.
Oh, yes, it was.
He was Lord Mulreen's partner, wasn't he?
Yes, but he's been out of the picture for a long time now, since the early 30s.
Was it June the 22nd, 1930? You see, it's the exact date that we're arguing about. Oh. Would you have a record of it somewhere?
Well, all our files are computerized now.
Oh, so it could be programmed into the computer.
It is possible.
Oh, could you look for us?
Look, I really would like to help you, but I just can't. I have very specific instructions. Why don't you ask Lord Mulreen to come in
Oh,
here?
what a good idea. Come along, Miles. We'll be back.
All right, goodbye.
Oh, would you mind?
There's a handle on this side.
Oh. Bye-bye.
The bitch.
George McDee's body was found in the ashes.
Who else was there? Was anyone else injured?
He didn't say.
Where did the fire start?
Apparently, it completely destroyed the library.
700 for the rubber, 1,500 for Grand Slam, redouble. 100 honours and 50 for the insult. £1 100.
£1 100? All right, Greville, I'll take care of it.
That will be £31.
£31?
Thank you very much, sir. Shall I take...
No, leave it till the morning.
Very good, sir.
£31.
Say you're tired and go to bed.
Oh, I'm so tired. I'll go to bed.
Take Mulreen with you.
What about you, Arthur?
Yes. Didn't realise it was so late.
What do you want me to do?
Get the details of McDee's death.
How about a nightcap, Arthur?
Yes, a very good idea. Thank you.
A fire?
Yes, but where?
Arthur, if you're thinking of investing that sort of money, oughtn't you to put it to the shareholders?
What, Emma and Felicity?
Emma and Felicity,
What do they know? They said I was mad when I took George on as a partner.
George McDee?
Yes. You've got the ideas, you've got the capital. What do you need him for? Little did they know.
Wasn't George... George is a very clever fellow, isn't he?
You'd like to know, wouldn't you? No, that's strictly between George and me. I'll let you fellas at the bank know when I'm ready to raise capital.
Always kept your cards close to your chest, Arthur. Is his, work dangerous?
Dangerous? Dangerous right off my living room and me standing here.
What exactly has he got in there?
Why don't you see for yourself?
But surely... we can't go in there. He hates to be disturbed while he's working.
Not by me. Come and take a look. Go on, take a look. George?
Good evening.
Get out.
He's from the bank, George.
Not now.
Leave.
I'm sorry you've been disturbed. Aren't these cultures?
Get out of here.
You shouldn't have done that, George. He was only asking a civil question.
I've nearly solved it.
That temper of yours will give the company a bad name.
It's impossible.
No, Steele, there's no doubt about it.
There never was a fire
There
in
would be
here.
a massive carbon residue. There is none.
But the computer clearly
This room has
indicated
never
that the whole
been
room was
worked. All the
destroyed.
materials
Not
used
now,
in the
Felix.
construction are
You mean there's not even a trace?
There's a trace. Yes, there used to be a fireplace over there, and it...
June the 22nd.
1930. No, Steele, there's no doubt about it.
There never was a fire
There
in
would be
here.
a massive carbon residue. There is none.
But the computer clearly
This room has
indicated
never
that the whole
been
room was
worked. All the
destroyed.
materials
Not
used
now,
in the
Felix.
construction are
You mean there's not even a trace?
There's a trace. Yes, there used to be a fireplace over there, and it...
June the 22nd.
1930.
All irregularities will be handled by the forces controlling each dimension. Heavy elements may not be used where there is life. Medium atomic weights are available. Gold, lead, copper, jet, diamond, radium, sapphire, silver, and steel. Sapphire and steel have been assigned.
No fire.
No, there never was a fire anywhere in this room. It's undamaged.
Then the newspaper report was wrong.
Possibly. Someone could have lied.
So I wonder what Felix was trying to tell us. Where are Emma and Felicity? They're in their rooms, aren't they?
Yes, but they're not asleep yet.
Is Mr. McDee still in his laboratory? Yes, he is. He'll be working late, and so shall I. I've never seen that one before.
So now the events of that night take place exactly as they did before.
With one exception.
Yes, the death of George McDee.
This time he could survive, and history could be moved onto a parallel track.
Sir, sorry. It's deductible. Belongs there.
Why don't you go to bed?
I envy him.
What?
Mr. McDee, he doesn't seem to need much sleep.
Yes, well, it looks as if he'll be able to get all the sleep he wants after tomorrow.
How very gratifying.
Do you know who that is?
That's Greville.
Well, yes and no. In 1930, there were two Grevils in this house, father and son.
Good night, sir.
Good night, Greville.
That's old Greville, that's the father.
And young Greville?
He's asleep in his cot in the servants' quarters. He's 2 years old.
Can I get you anything, sir, before I turn in?
No, thank you, Greville. Oh, just a moment.
I'll put the kettle on right away.
Mulreen lied to the newspaper. He killed George McDee and then covered it up.
Or the computer lied to us. Remember what you read on that screen. It changed the word to trick us.
Well, someone is going to kill George McDee. And we have to make sure that the murder takes place exactly as it did before.
What is it?
Shh. You didn't come, George. I waited over an hour for you.
Leave me alone, Emma.
What's the matter? You getting bored with me?
I'm working.
But, George, you promised.
Just go.
No. I won't go until I have your answer. Have you stopped loving me?
No!
You have no time for me.
I couldn't leave this.
I waited patiently for you, George. You promised you'd come to my room.
Do you not understand, woman? Can you not get it through your head? I'm on the verge of achieving everything I've ever dreamed of. It'll make history, Emma.
I've never cared for history, George.
Please, leave me. Go way back to your bed.
No.
Get out!
Are you telling me you don't love me anymore?
If it'll get you out of here, yes.
Oh, and I thought you were special, but you're not, are you? You're just like anybody else. Any other man. All you care about's your own small world, your precious work. You'd do anything for your work, George, wouldn't you? Use anyone. Just like Arthur. Just like Arthur. Well, if that's the way you want it.
Emma, what on earth are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? You've been in there, haven't you, dressed like that?
Yes. Your brilliant partner has been telling me the most extraordinary...
Be quiet, Emma! Shh, come in the library. Be quiet!
No, I will not.
Shh. Just what do you think you're doing?
I was with George.
I can see that. What are you trying to do, wreck everything?
None of your business, Arthur.
Oh, yes, it is my business. George McDee is my business. Come here, Emma. Come here. Have a look at that. Do you know what that is? That is a contract. A contract giving everything he has invented, everything he has discovered or will discover, everything to our new company. Look, signed George McDee. Do you realise what that means?
You know, I never understand such things, Arthur. I leave all that to you.
Good. And keep on doing just that. George signed that yesterday afternoon. There's millions and millions to be made out of this. We are going to go public. Mulreen Imperial will become Mulreen International.
How exciting.
Just make sure you don't rock the boat.
I don't care what you say.
Well, you'd better damn well start caring.
Really?
Now, look, Emma, I've had just about enough of you and your selfish ways. The trouble is I've spoiled you.
Yes, you have indeed.
I've always given you everything you've wanted.
You were happy enough for me to make love to George while you were trying to persuade him to be your partner.
Well, that's good business.
Well, I want my happiness now. I'm not going to be used anymore.
Used?
Sick of sharing, George. Sick of the secrecy. I love him.
Oh, don't talk such rubbish.
George is going to get a divorce from Felicity and marry me.
Oh, no, you don't, Emma Mulreen. We're not having that. There'd be a scandal.
Damn the scandal. You've got what you wanted. Now it's my turn. I will have him.
Emma! Emma, where are you going?
George?
No, it's me.
What? Who? Emma. What do you want? I've got the most dreadful headache.
I have to talk to you, Felicity.
Can't it wait till morning?
No, I want to talk to you now. I can't wait.
All right. What is it?
George and I are in love.
What?
He wants to marry me.
Are you mad? George is married to me.
He's going to leave you, Felicity.
Nonsense. You're making it up.
George and I have been lovers for the last 6 months.
It's not true. I won't believe it, I won't.
He wants you to divorce him.
Where is he? Why isn't he telling me this himself?
He's too soft-hearted. He's afraid of you.
Afraid of me? George has never been afraid of anyone in his life. Where is he?
In his laboratory, working.
Get out of here.
Are you going to give him his freedom?
Get out. Leave me alone.
There's something else you should know. George comes to my room every night.
Steel. Felicity has the gun. Steel?
Yes?
Come to the laboratory.
I'm already in there.
I've told you, go away. I'm busy.
You didn't tell me, George.
Felicity.
Who did you think it was?
I don't know. I just don't want to be disturbed.
You're going to be disturbed, whether you like it or not, George McDee.
Oh, please.
Go on. Tell me. Who did you think it was? Who have you already sent away?
Look, this is important.
This is more important. Was it her?
Her? Who do you mean?
Emma Mulreen.
Emma, whatever gave you that idea?
She did.
Oh, come
Oh,
on.
don't try to bluff it out, George. You've never been a good liar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about your lover. I'm talking about you wanting a divorce so that you can go off.
No, you've got it all wrong.
Have I? Or has she?
She? What's she been saying?
I told you that you and she have been lovers for months, that you want to leave me and go off with her.
No.
Is it true?
Is what true?
Is she your lover?
Yes. Yes, she is.
I see. And what about me?
Felicity, what are you doing?
I won't let you do it, George. I'll kill you before I let her have you.
Is this it?
Wait.
That was it. That was the moment. Now, time is on its new track.
Well, stop them. Stop them! Now take it back. Take time back. Let's see how she killed him.
Felicity, what are you doing?
I won't let you do it, George. I'll kill you before I let her have you.
But that's odd.
That wasn't it. That wasn't the moment.
It wasn't Felicity who killed him.
You still up, George? Do you like a drink?
No, thank you, Arthur. Where's the agreement?
Which one?
Our agreement. I want it back. The deal's off.
Oh, no, it isn't. You signed it and Greville witnessed it. It's all legal.
I've changed my mind.
Too late.
I won't do it.
What's happened? A few hours back, you were all excited. Look, George, with your scientific brain and my business acumen, we're going to be rich. Rich beyond our wildest dreams. Oh, no, you don't.
I want those papers. The deal's off.
Keep off me, George. I'm warning you.
Sapphire.
No, not yet.
Keep away from me.
I've had enough. Any man who could use his own sister to entice another man.
George, you've got to see reason. She fell for you, George. It's real, honest. It's genuine. Emma's head over heels in love with you.
I'll not listen to you. Give me that.
George! Come in.
Your tea, sir. Oh, shall I get another cup?
Thank you, Greville. Mr. McDee is just going to bed. Aren't you, George?
That wasn't it either.
No, it wasn't.
Felicity.
Felicity!
Open this door, will you? Felicity, I know you're in there. If you don't want to let me in, then I understand. But when you need me, when you're ready to talk about all this, you know where I'll be? Felicity.
What am I going to do, Greville?
It's not easy, is it, sir?
No. We can't have a scandal. Not now.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Greville. Something tells me I'm going to need it.
Why, Emma? Why did you do it?
Because you jilted me.
I did no such thing.
You told me to get out and leave you.
Told you to get out because I was working. Surely we'll love each other.
Oh, I do hope so, George. I thought as much.
Felicity.
This won't do, George. This won't do at all. You might as well leave him alone, Emma. I'll never give him his freedom, never.
He doesn't love you. He loves me.
And I'll make quite sure you can never have him. As long as I live.
No, Emma, no. For God's sake, don't.
No.
Not yet. That's it. That's the moment.
It was Emma.
It was you. You shot him, didn't you?
Yes, but I didn't mean to.
Shoot him again.
Kill him. Kill him, you must.
This is what I must do. This time.
Emma,
Emma, can you hear us?
Yes, of course I can.
do you realize what you're doing?
Yes, this time I'm going to be happy. I've been given a second chance.
Does George know?
No, only I know.
You've killed her. She's dead.
It's all right, my dearest. I've been promised.
What have you been promised?
A lifetime of happiness with George. We're going to be young again.
What?
We're going to be young again.
It's a trick, Emma. Time is tricking you.
Who is time?
Our enemy.
Your enemy.
No, you don't understand. I really have been given a second chance. It's wonderful. George, my darling, you're not going to die. We're going to be together for the rest of our lives.
If you don't shoot George, there won't be any rest of your lives.
But I was promised.
Yes, but you will both die, and in a very short time.
What's he saying?
Listen to him. He's right.
These cultures will destroy you along with every other living creature on Earth. There is no way of avoiding it once they get out of the laboratory.
Rubbish. How could they?
Time is accelerating the disease.
It's not possible.
Not only is it possible, it is absolutely inevitable. You have created mutant, persistent viruses that the world of 1930 has no way of controlling. And Emma will be next.
I was promised. I was promised.
It's up to you. Everything must be exactly as it was. Only you can pull the trigger and shoot George.
No.
You must do it. No. You must do it.
I can't do it again.
Emma,
George?
listen to me, my dearest. We love each other, don't we? Can I touch her?
Yes.
Would she be infected?
No. Once we go back on the original track, none of this will have happened.
Listen to me, my darling. You have to do it. It's for my own sake. Would you have me be the man who destroyed the human race? Then you must kill me. It's the only way. Kill me and let Felicity live. I promise. Be brave, my darling. Remember the good times we had, huh? Remember me.
George, my beloved. I shall keep you alive in my heart.
Now, Sapphire, take time back.
I thought as much.
Felicity.
This won't do, George. This won't do at all. You might as well leave him alone, Emma. I'll never give him his freedom, never.
He doesn't love you. He loves me. And I'll make quite sure you can never have him. As long as I live.
No, Emma, no. For God's sake, don't. For God's sake, don't stop!
What's happened? Emma! George! Rebel! Get them out of here quickly!
No,
Come on!
Now, Sapphire, take time forward.
I hope you have a super party, sir.
Well, it'll be different anyway. Have to mark our 50th year of operation, don't we? Seems a good a way as any. 21st of June, summer solstice. I remember noting it then.
Lord Maureen.
Oh, dear. Thank you, Miss Shaw. Wouldn't do to leave that behind, would it? Lock myself out of my own office, and who knows what might happen then.
Indeed, yes, sir.
Ah, the cocktails. Good man, Greville.
The first guests.
Yes. Now it all begins.
How silly of me. I feel quite nervous.
Yes, how silly of you, Emma.
This is where we came in.
And this is where we go out.
Good evening, Mr. Harborough.
Good evening, Greville.
Good evening, Mrs. McDee.
Good evening,
Good
Greville.
evening, Mrs. Harborough.
Well, say, I like your monkey suit, Greville.
Steel? 1930, sir. Absolutely authentic. All specially made, sir, by Lord Maureen's personal tailor.
Must have cost a fortune.